As the duels are concluding within this tournament, we were treated to some amazing character development for Goha Yuna. And a shocking new character appears after the Relic gets sliced in two. Hello everyone and welcome to Dueling with Downton, and today we're talking all things episode 74 of the Yugioh Go Rush anime series. An episode that could be one of the best, if not the best, episode of this current arc, as we get to see Yuna versus Rovian, and a new blonde-haired character emerges from the Relic that looks a little bit like Yugioh. Well, a lot like him. So first and foremost, the duel. Learning how this was a character development type of duel that works to showcase Goha Yuna's character growth in her wanting to travel down her own path, a path that branches away from the Rovian bandits, I thought was brilliant. And the way they executed it, from the visuals, the music, the choreography, the emotions on display, I thought was all complimentary and amazing. And I think the right character ended up winning this duel in the end. Of course, in my last review, I predicted that Rovian would win, but that's because I thought she would showcase how much she cares about Yuna and kind of defeat the darkness that was possessing her because it was interrupting her friend's sort of, mindset. And in a way, we kind of still got to showcase Rovian's kind, caring, and emotions towards Rovian in the end, as Rovian was upset that the duel was interrupted because all she wanted was to face Yuna at her best, and obviously that got interference, which aggravated her. So in that respect, we learned that Rovian does respect Yuna as a duelist. Rightly so though, because Goha Yuna does have a very decent win record in Go Rush, beating Yugioh, who is the main protagonist, which not many people have done so far in the series. Now, despite Rovian losing, we did get to see how much Rovian did understand Yuna's feelings, and kind of this caring nature that kind of wanted to make Rovian force Yuna to continue down this newfound resolve of going down her own path. That line, which I loved, in where Rovian stated the bandits don't need a prim and proper girl in their ranks, was just Rovian's way of saying, go for it, go do what you need to do, and don't worry about us. Plus, what that line helped to do is it also helped to kind of extinguish any doubts or fears that Yuna might have had before making her final attack. Now, real quick, the last thing about Rovian I want to talk about before I return to Goha Yuna's character is seeing the joy and passion from Rovian's character. This I thought was very genuine and very heartfelt and sweet, as it complemented what was happening during this episode, and it did help to display the bonds/connections that both duelists share with each other. Going back to Goha Yuna, I've always liked this character even from her first on-screen appearance. I saw that she had potential, despite her over-the-top fangirling being annoying at the start. But seeing how Yuna has gone from this character who was always under Rovian since childhood and growing up almost worshipping/idolizing Rovian, doing everything in Rovian's name, to now becoming someone who has her own passions, her own goals, and becoming her own person to finally walk down her own path. Yes, of course, Yuga did influence her to do so, and so did her friendship with Asaka, but this growth has been a long time coming, yet a steady build throughout the series so far, as we haven't seen Yuna go gaga for Rovian in such a long time. And even within this duel, while Yuna was herself, there was still this showcasing of respect and admiration towards Rovian, but it was more matured. And you also got this vibe/feeling from Yuna that was basically her going, right, I need to do this in order to move forward. If I can't overcome Rovian, and thus my past, then I can't walk towards the future that I desire. And I like this kind of mindset and approach that they went with her character, because the thing tying Yuna down was in fact Rovian. But now she's overcome that, there's nothing stopping her from doing what she was destined to do. So in conclusion, the development with Goha Yuna throughout the entire series, I thought has been perfect. Now onto the duel itself, and of course the cards and monsters. Seeing that the darkness did interrupt the duel was unfortunate, and it would have been amazing to have seen just a simple duel between these two characters. However, the fact that Yuna won while being herself, without any darkness influence, I thought was the correct decision. And with the majority of the duel having Yuna possessed, it does somewhat make Rovian still slightly strong in the viewer's eyes, because Yuna didn't get a clean win over her. Kind of. Now, of course, this isn't the first time that we've seen these two decks in dueling action, but I really did love how these two characters are the ones using decks that really do utilize the equip spell card mechanic, as it was their arc that introduced them, first of all, into rush dueling. And with Yuna being the first character to ever use an equip spell, with 7th Road Magician in her rush duel against Yugioh, it just kind of brings everything back as to why she would really utilize these as her main source of gaining power and, her influence with the cards that she uses. Now then, let's talk about the monsters real quick. Prophecy Phase is one of my favorite cards from Yugioh Go Rush, so seeing this was great. And I like the Celeb Rose archetype. So, Celeb Rose Magician, cool. The new fusion monster that Yuna used while possessed, that being Celeb Rose Gossip Magician, was just a bit meh. Nothing special about it in terms of its design or usefulness, but then when paired with the Celeb Robe Death Wind equip spell card, this thing dramatically improves, both visually, which I love how these equip cards do end up enhancing the visuals of the monsters on the field, and also with its usefulness in not being able to be destroyed by battle or card effect. I think it worked amazingly. And the design does heavily remind me of some things that you'll see from the Black Rose Dragon archetype. With the whole kind of rose concept and the whips and the kind of dress that it wore. Hopefully we see more of this. But with that being said, because it was a darkness possessed monster, I don't know if we will. Instead, we might get a new fusion monster that could be somewhat decent. As for the conclusions of the other duels, that being Kawitel vs Osaka and the Yumu vs Nyanda style duels, I wish these duels had a bit more spotlight. Yet, at the same time, I understood how much more of a greater impact it had having the darkness-possessed characters demolish their opponents in a quick fashion and a swift action, helping showcase how powerful and terrifying the power of darkness can truly be. The final segment of this episode involving the Relic actually helped to clear up a few answers, and it helped to add more speculation for us as the viewers into the series, thus making the whole thing a bit more interesting, while also who the owner of the darkness could be. Keeping with our possessed girls, seeing them attacking Ryushi and then getting blasted by Manabu and Makoto, more on those characters in a minute, we see the girls wearing the Velgearian badge that allows them to fly. This was of course the same item that Yugioh gave to the twins when they went to go visit Ninshore for the first time. So it means if whoever is using the power of darkness to control their characters has a connection to Velgear. And we know that the Relic is connected to both Otis and the Creator, which the Creator created the Velgearians, so we get a nice little kind of loop in background. The simple fact that the Relic was using the anti-beam to stop Zuijo in this episode helps us to showcase how MIK got this technology within their possession. Answer: the Relic was behind it. Manabu, in this episode, his segments were short but brief, yet he looked like he has matured to the point where he can now work alongside Makoto, using that combination attack which in of itself was just crazy but cool. And it's even calling Makoto brother, which could hint at Manabu slowly reconnecting to his family lineage. The blonde-looking Yugioh / the Velgearian. Now this was a great twist that maybe some would say overshadowed the whole Yuna segment, but at the same time, it gave us that feeling of confusion, excitement, and curiosity. as to what this could all mean. So I'm going to ask, without spoiling anything for the next few episodes, because I haven't seen episode 75, what were your first reactions to this reveal? So overall, I loved this episode as it showcases some of my favourite characters, while also gave us that great twist at the end and progressed the story forward. It does seem a little bit confusing as to where a puck still comes into play and everything like that. And if the tournament is actually important, because Ran is trying to keep it going by not disqualifying everybody, while at the same time, everyone is leaving for other things. So, yeah, be confused on that front. But with all that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this review. Hit that like button, subscribe for more videos from myself, and of course, leave your comments in the comment section down below. Have a great day, arigato, madare, goodbye.